Live from New York, a show that's a little bit late and needs to pay attention. It's First Things First. You got to do it right off the jump. We start with the Bears in Kansas City. Chiefs favored by 12.5 points. Sunday at 4 on Fox. Kansas City, they scored 20 week 1, bro. 17 week 2. Let's dig into the numbers here. Last year, the first 2 games, remember, it's like Mahomes coming on, he'll score 900 points. 1 giveaway, yards per play. Now, this year, everything is down. 37 points, give the ball away 4 times, yards per play is down. Mahomes' passer rating way down. Wow. Holy cow. So, Nick, do the Chiefs need a blowout win? A real win?
So here's the thing.
Not a squeaky, we got Trevor Lawrence, we made him.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't actually think you guys are asking that question.
We are.
Because, let me make sure then that I understand. Is a blowout 3 scores or more? Like 17 plus is a blowout? 20 plus?
Sure.
Is that a blowout? I just want to. Okay. So
20 is a blowout.
20 is a blowout.
I say
17 or more. 3 scores.
That's what I was
saying.
saying.
Okay. All right.
Real talk.
Okay. So if the Chiefs win by 17, that would be classified as a blowout.
Sure.
If the Chiefs win on Sunday 17-0, you guys are going to come on here and say you're still concerned.
That's true.
The question is not, do they need a blowout win? The question that you're actually asking is, does the offense need to look amazing? But the reason we're not actually asking that is because people know on its face that's a ridiculous question when you have a Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid
we're
team.
Just waiting to see it.
Well, you've seen it for the last 5 years, and you have not seen it for these 2 weeks.
Just patiently waiting.
And so here's what I'm going to tell you. The Chiefs are in a very advantageous position where they can use the first 6-7 weeks of the year to practice during the games, to figure out which of their wide receivers they can trust. They are right now dressing 7 wide receivers for each game. That's not going to continue. And they need to be sharp by November and rolling by January. And they will use this time to get there. Luckily, they can do that because they don't have a good defense. They have an excellent defense. And that is going to be proven out over the course of the year. It's being proven out, but I know you guys need to see more, even though they've played the Lions and the Jags, 2 of the offenses people were highest on coming into the year. So do they need a blowout win? Of course they don't. But even if they get one, if they don't get one in vintage Chiefs fashion, 35-plus points, these same concerns are going to remain for at least alleged Chiefs fan, but actual fraud, Kevin Wildes.
I'm on the fence.
I am Mr. What, Wildes?
I don't. Flip-flopper.
Mr. Facts and Analysis.
Objective.
Okay,
Objective. No matter how I feel personally about a team,
gone by that before?
I
Mr.
keep
Objective.
it real.
Yeah.
And this is what's real.
Okay.
They don't need a blowout. They don't. All right? And here's why. Because, look, we know that the Chiefs are going to be there at the end. I'm not saying they're getting to the Super Bowl. I didn't pick them to. No. But they're going to be a factor late in the season.
Sure. Regardless
of what happens Sunday. Okay? And, Nick, you know this. They're not good against the spread. Well, they were 9-11 last year against the spread. Even if they covered this spread, it wouldn't be a quote-unquote blowout necessarily. But they're not good against the spread. And for reference for the fans, Cincinnati 13-6 last year against the spread. San Francisco 13-7. The Chiefs just 9-11. Last year, they lost to Indianapolis.
Yep.
Last year, they needed overtime to beat the woeful Houston Texans.
Because they were
Last year, they took 2 games against the Denver Broncos, 1 score. Wow. So my point, and they, of course, won the Super Bowl. My point is, it doesn't matter what they do Sunday. I do agree, they are working things out. What they need to see more than a blowout is Kadarius Toney, can you hold the football? Okay. Whether it's catching it or just not dropping it once you do catch it. Sky Moore, can you get open consistently? And that defense, I want to see that defense continue because they've looked good. I'm not convinced yet that they are a top-flight defense, so they got to continue to show me that. That's what you want to see from the Chiefs. Of course, a win, but doesn't have to be a blowout.
So versus the Bears so far this year. Jordan Love went in there, boom.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, no interception. Then the Big Show.
Yeah.
Great passer rating. Didn't really light it up.
Yeah.
Could make it work. Now the Bears don't have a defensive coordinator.
That's right.
Here's my issue. You can say it's a big issue. You can say it's not a big issue. Pop quiz. You want it?
Yeah, I'd love it.
How many guys have caught passes for the Chiefs?
12.
Correct answer, 14. 15 if you count the offensive lineman that Patrick Mahomes threw
Yeah.
the ball. Guess how many guys have caught balls for the 49ers? 5.
Right, they're stars.
Yeah,
they're
so
stars
it's
and
just,
one other guy.
It feels like you guys are having
Practicing,
this big sample.
working. Yes.
I mean, if that's how you
It
want to
feels
spin it.
like
Because
they
you don't
are
know if
working.
you've got some.
It
No,
feels
That's the
like a
thing. It's
bunch
not
of
like it's just,
indecision.
we got a ton of weapons, let's use them all.
Of course.
Do we have one weapon?
No,
No,
okay,
do we have
Travis
2?
Kelce.
Yes, exactly.
No, of course that's what it is.
Okay, well, that's not
That's
good.
what it was last year.
Well, no, because
you
you
had
had
Juju
MVS, you
with
had
Cruz.
Juju. That's correct.
Is MVS on this team or
Sorry,
not?
well,
I'm
MVS
pretty sure he
was
is.
he still the
Travis
guy?
Kelce
I'm wondering
is on.
these
I don't.
first 2
All of a sudden, MVS we think got worse than he was last year. He wasn't amazing last year. He's fine. Same player.
How many catches?
Kelce.
4.
I am telling you guys right now, they are going to, as much as they can, limit Kelce's snaps early in the season, injury or not, but certainly coming off the injury. And they are going to work through the rotation of Justin Watson and MVS and Kadarius Toney. And again, it should be noted that while I know they lost 2 of the guys in their receiving core last year, those guys have made no impact for their new teams. Those guys, there was this big story today, I don't know if it was in the Post or the Daily News, about Hardman. Like, yeah, I don't know why I'm not even in the rotation right now. He was one of the losses. He has 1 catch for 6 yards. Juju, even the knee injury concerns notwithstanding, has not been, at least in game 1, wasn't consistently on the field.
He was good, though, for the Chiefs last year.
But what
Will
I'm
these other
saying
guys
is,
be? Let's
yes,
see.
what I am saying is one of these guys will fill that role. And that we are to the same place that we were, that I said we would be on Monday, which is if the biggest concern about the Kansas City Chiefs is their passing game, would we agree with this? The most confident unit in the entire NFL is the Chiefs' offense. They're going to be fine.
You know, this side of the table just plays by consistency.
That's right.
If Josh Allen didn't put up 20 points, we would be like, oh, what's going on over here? We want to see something. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
If Luka Doncic came out in the first 2 games and averaged, a dozen points, we'd be like, that's weird. That's weird. Okay. You're like, no, he's been great. I'm like, I know. It's just weird.
Okay.
Moving on. Josh Allen. The Bills head down to D.C. to play the very frisky Commanders. 2-0. Who could have seen that coming besides me? Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Good call.
Let's take a look at the numbers. Josh Allen. Game 1 against the Jets, not great. Game 2 against the Raiders, very good. Brew, this is why I always say, like a roller coaster with this guy. Brew, have the Bills righted the ship?
No. I mean, they're fine, but I don't know how we're going to even know if they've righted the ship this year. This could be a thankless year for the Bills.
Okay.
Because if they play great football, people still won't be fully convinced that they're going to get where they're trying to go, which is the Super Bowl. Okay?
And how about a
tough.
conference title game again?
Well, a lot of people they got to get to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
That's their goal. We see it's in their building,
That's
right?
right.
The
You're
trophy. All right, their S-Bob. And so they've been 13-3 2 of the last 3 years. And last year, started 6-1, beat the Chiefs, blew out the Titans, which is tough to do, finished with 7 straight wins, and then looked horrible in the playoffs, even though they won a game against Miami's third-string quarterback. All right, so they can do all of that. They can go 13-4, 14-3, and people will still have their doubts. Now, what I do think will help, Nick, is if Josh Allen can play smart football consistently.
String together smart, clean game.
He's going to have some interceptions. It happens. But he's got to play smart. That's what people are really looking at. They're going to win a ton of games, but he's got to play smart football. That is when people will begin to think, okay, they're starting to get it.
So I think that's right. I also think we're bearing the lead a bit here with the sub-headline there. Josh Allen, Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, he played well.
You know what?
He was good.
You know what I think that calls for? Guys, listen, the Bills don't get many of these. Drop the banner. Okay. Drop the. Oh no, that was the last silly thing he got that he didn't necessarily deserve. Drop the actual banner. My apologies. Once again, listen, was Ryan Tannehill better this week? Sure. Could Lamar have won it? Sure. Did Josh Allen have a guy run for 140? Yeah, of course. Listen, the media loves Josh Allen, so even though it didn't throw for 280 yards, player of the week. That's great. It goes right perfectly alongside
it doesn't even
the
seem
Madden
that
cover.
Sarcastic. It just seems like a nice gesture.
No, it's a nice. Yeah, at least I think the Bills. Listen, they're a hard-working team. They have good fans, and you need to enjoy the small victories. And so, but with that said, I want to see how Buffalo looks in their next 3 games. I don't think that this game at Washington is some easy game.
No.
Thank you.
I think that Wilds was potentially onto something.
No, but
you kind of left them for Minnesota.
No,
you did.
No, hold on.
I got to say the Commanders are going to the Super Bowl?
He picked them to make the playoffs. He gets credit. Hold on, let's not bring up something he might have gotten wrong.
Can I show you something real
let's
quick
give
to
him
prove
credit.
how right I am? And you'll be like, wow, Wild's good point.
Yeah, go ahead.
If Josh Allen is playing Micah Parsons, you would be like, woo, watch out for Micah Parsons. All of a sudden, wow, look at that Commanders defense. First in sacks, tied with the Cowboys. First in QB hits. Second for tackles for loss, third in pressure. Okay. So if you're going to try to rattle Josh Allen, and if he doesn't take off on you, Commanders, this is a little trap game.
And by the way, after this, they have Miami and Jacksonville. So you have one of the best defenses in football, one of the best quarterbacks in the world, and the Miami Dolphins all on your schedule in the next 3 games. And so so I don't think that we know yet if the Bills have righted the ship. But I do think the Commanders being 6.5-point dogs at home is a little disrespectful to them. We talked about the Chiefs' offense struggling a bit. When the Bills' offense struggled somewhat last year when Josh struggled, and was like, oh, he misses Dable. Nobody has seemingly said, well, maybe there's a bit of a transition now that the Chiefs have lost Eric Bieniemy. Mm-hmm. No, because nobody wanted to give Bieniemy credit when he was there. Now he's getting some credit in Washington, but not necessarily the almost retroactive credit like Daboll got when Josh struggled a bit. And I think that this is a really interesting month for Buffalo because you play a very good defense in Washington with an offense that showed real life in the second half last week against Denver. And then Miami and Jacksonville, which are teams that you're going to be fighting for seeding with, fighting in Miami's case for the AFC East with. That, to me, is what's going to determine whether or not the Bills have righted the ship. And I agree with you entirely, Brew. Josh Allen stringing together consistent, clean football. And it's less about, honestly, does he throw a pick? And it's more about, does he make inexplicable decisions, because everybody throws picks. Right. But even in this great game, he had the play you pointed out, Wilds, the trying to hurdle it the 4 yards outside of the goal line. Was like that's just kind of odd.
Anymore,
no, weird stuff. Let's dig into the awards for Josh Allen. As you noted, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Now, the Bills announced this,
What's so funny, bro?
on their social media saying never a doubt.
Love it.
Within the office, there is some controversy.
Oh, really?
Some people say this is a direct shot at you because the Lions took a shot at you with never a doubt.
Obviously a shot at me.
But they also have used it in the past, so I don't want to just say,
Okay. Well, listen. Let's give an example because they've used it a few times in the past. Typically, they've used it when a field goal is made, but then they used it once kind of declaratively, and we can show you the exact tweet because it was about 8 minutes before the single worst moment in franchise history for the Buffalo Bills when they blew this football game. But it was when they took the lead at Arrowhead and they used never a doubt then. And by the way, that was a shot at me then.
Well, you were saying never a doubt.
That's why I got the tattoo, you doofus, was because every time the Chiefs won a close game, I would tweet out never a doubt. That's the genesis of it. But I got to listen. I understand this. And Brew, can I defend the Bills for a second here?
Sure.
I'm the only rival they got now. The Chiefs ascended past them. The Bengals beat them down at home. The Patriots went in so far the other direction, they're not even really a rival. The only real rival they've got is me. And so, you know what? Take the small victories. I have no problem with it. I will say, I do think it's bulletin board worthy.
Oh.
I do think
we're back.
It's been a while. And by the way,
a prop-heavy segment.
I got to tell you, I underestimated the power of the bulletin board. If I may, in short order, Greg Jennings got put on the bulletin board, immediately dislocated his elbow and was in a cast for a week. Brandon Graham, 0 sacks, one tackle all year. This poor gentleman, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, doesn't play for the Eagles anymore. He suffered 2 injuries since he got put on the bulletin board. Jamar Chase, 0 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, yelling at his quarterback. Travis Kelce got hurt just by being on the bulletin board, even though he didn't do anything bulletin board worthy. And, oh, by the way, Taylor Swift's got to go. She was on the bulletin board for playing off Travis Kelce, but it looks like, maybe not so much. So Taylor Swift, you're good on the bulletin board. Buffalo Bills.
Oh, Bills. Wow.
Never a doubt. Yeah,
social
media team. I would imagine there's going to be some error, didn't log out of the personal account or something coming soon if the bulletin board power continues. But there it is. Buffalo Bills, social media team on the board.
All right. Well, congratulations. This is a small honor. All right, coming up next.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.